headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. Live in Nashville, Tennessee, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work they love, and create actual, incredible relationships. I'm John Deloney, joined here by my good friend Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls on money, life, mental health, relationships, work, whatever you got going on. We've probably got an opinion on it, and if we can't figure it out, we'll just tell you we don't know what we're talking about. The call is toll-free, and that's about what the advice is worth. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Let's go out to Logan in SLC. What is up, Logan in Utah? What's up, man?
Hey, thank you for taking the time to discuss my question today.
You got it. Thanks for calling in. What's up, man?
Yeah, so I'm about to graduate from graduate school. My wife and I have 2 little boys, and we're looking into home buying options. I just accepted a full-time job down just south of Salt Lake City. The housing market in Utah is very booming right now. So we're looking into options for renting versus buying. We would like to buy a home. We like the idea of following the principle of keeping a mortgage payment to about 25% of our monthly take-home pay, but this doesn't leave us with a ton of options for home buying. So we're just kind of trying to see if it's more worth it for us to get our foot in the door and buy a home that may stretch us a little bit, or if it makes more sense for us to rent and try to build up a bigger down payment. But with rent prices the way they are in the area, we're just a little bit concerned that by the time we pay our rent and try to save up for a down payment, we're going to cost us more than if we were just paying a mortgage payment anyway. So interested
what are you
to
studying,
get your thoughts on it.
What are you graduating with? What's your degree in?
It's a master's in landscape architecture.
Outstanding. Hey, I got a buddy out that program. That's a fantastic program. Well done, dude.
Thank you.
So I've got a non-money related opinion on this, and then I'll pass it over to Jade, who can break down the baby steps for you. I would not buy a house moving from Salt Lake to, are you like St. George area? Is that where you're going?
No, so right now we're up in Logan at Utah State University, and then we're looking to move to Utah County, Provo, Lehigh area, just 30 minutes south of Salt Lake.
So the reason I wouldn't do it is I would rather go with my young family and get settled in that community and figure out where the cool restaurants are and where the walking trails are and where the parks are, all that stuff that makes for a great life, and not have tied myself up into a house and then tried to do life around where we stuck a flag. And I know that's such a pain with 2 little ones to move twice. The thought of moving twice was enough to make my wife just start weeping instantly, right? And so I get that. But man, the times I have chosen to rent, that's just a Deloney family rule. We rent when we move to a new town and we get settled. We even rented when we moved back into a city we had lived in for years because the city had shifted a little bit. So that's just my thought on that. What do you think?
I think that's a really great place to start. That's kind of a Ramsey principle as well, is we would tell folks, if you're moving to a new area, wait a year. And just like you said, find out the area, see if you like it. I do have a couple of questions financially. It sounds like you guys do the baby steps and understand. I just want to double check. No debt, right?
So the only debt that we have right now is a small student loan, but that's kind of up in the air as far as when those payments are going to need to take place, or if those payments will even need to take place.
How much is it?
Right now.
It's $16,000. We've been making payments while in grad school and whittling that down.
Okay.
Good for you.
Do you have any money saved? Any liquid cash?
We do.
How much?
Yes, we do. About $18,000.
Hold on.
Pay off your debts. Do you love them? Do they keep you warm? Logan, do you love them?
The 18K is what's keeping him warm.
I know.
The 18K is his buddy, his cuddle buddy. All right, so here's what you need to do. Here, let's just walk through the baby steps, because at first you're going to be like, oh no, and then you're going to be like, oh yeah. Okay, so the good news is you have the money to do everything you need to do to get the right foundation. So let's walk that through the baby steps. We would say get $1,000 saved as your starter emergency fund, keyword starter. So that's $1,000. That leaves you with $17 left. And then we would say pay off all of your debt except the house. So you can knock out all 16,000 of those student loans, which now is a great time to knock them out because they're on pause, they're on freeze, they're not collecting any interest. So now's a good time to knock them out. And then you can still have another 1,000 saved up. So now you've got 2,000 going towards your now 3 to 6 month emergency fund.
Does that give you hemorrhoids to just even think that way? That's all you have in the bank?
No, it's all right.
That's good. Okay.
So why haven't you done it?
He didn't know, John.
Yes, he did. Logan, you know. Why?
Did you know, Logan?
Yes, I did. Well, I mean, there's with the potential loan forgiveness, we've taken a pause on our payments just in case that goes through.
Keyword potential. You've got You've got plans. We're not going to wait on the government to do all the things that we want to do with our life and family. So go.
Sure.
That's honestly where I'm coming from. So we don't know what the government's going to do. These jokers take forever. So let's not wait on them. Let's go ahead and do this. And here's the thing: if it goes through, if you feel like you need to get you a refund, get you a refund. But none of that is even real yet. So let's deal in the realities of what's actually happening. So yeah, I would do that. You'd have the $2,000 as kind of a jump start to get 3 to 6 months saved, and then. Now we're starting to work towards a home purchase. So we want to go to baby step 3B, which is saving for a down payment. Now, the good news is this is going to move really quickly for you. So during this time, like John said, you guys get to know the area, start doing some math. We've got a really great calculator on Ramsey Solutions. It's called if you Google how much home can I afford? And you'll find that calculator. And so you can start to work towards what that's going to look like. But I would rent until you can put a responsible down payment on a home that you are interested in. I would say no less than 10%, so that you can make sure that you're building up some equity fairly quickly. How does that sound to you?
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, that sounds great. Mostly, yeah, we've just been kind of trying to weigh the options and see what's going to make the most sense for us. And I feel like everybody has a different opinion, so it's good to.
But you like ours the best.
Well, we're right.
Of course.
Hey, Logan, can you and I have a quick, just to the side, private conversation?
Sure.
There may be a couple million people listening in.
I'll go over to the side.
Hey, here's the thing. What's your job right now?
So I currently work part-time in the job that I will have full-time.
Okay. Good gig? What's your salary going to be?
Yes, it is. It's going to be $80,000.
Outstanding. Excellent. Well done out of grad school. And with the landscape architecture, you're going to end up moving up in that company, and you know that. You're going to do great. Mm-hmm. This is just two guys having nachos. You got a great job, and you took out a loan, and nobody tricked you. Nobody pulled one over on you. You told whoever gave you that loan, whether it was the school or the government or whoever, hey, I'll pay you back. You help me get through school, I'll pay you back. I'm all for loan forgiveness for people who got taken advantage of and ripped off. For those of us who had great jobs, who have been blessed with good work, I think it's on us to do what we said we were going to do when we signed that piece of paper, and not wait on the government, not wait on your neighbors to pay off your loans, but you pay them off. Do the right thing, man. Pay them off and be debt-free by the end of this afternoon, and then head on.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
This is the Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined by Jade Warshaw. 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. Taking your calls on money, life, marriage, mental health, work, whatever's going on. Let's go out to Michaela in Colorado Springs. What's up, Michaela?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. My husband and I were currently on baby step 2. We've knocked out about $8,000 worth of debt, which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. We recently found out that we're expecting our second baby.
Yay!
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, but I haven't told the rest of my family yet.
Are we the first ones?
Only you guys, Jordan and my parents and I are like the only ones that really know.
Look at that.
This is quite the announcement.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
feel
that we
privileged.
ranked ahead of your family.
Yeah. Well, no, like my parents know, and his parents. Anyway, so we're on baby step 2, and we need a bigger car to hold like 2 car seats because we have a little toddler right now. And I was wondering, how in the world do you save up for a car while doing the debt snowball?
Okay. Couple questions. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, Michaela?
Sure.
Okay. Thing 1. Well, let me do the good news first, so you're not mad at me. Number 1, yeah, if you have a baby on the way, we would say to just pause the baby steps in general and stack up money for a baby, whether that's stacking up your deductible or just getting ready for, you're bringing a new human in the world. There's so many variables there. So we would say to go ahead and pause that. We call that Stork mode. So you could do that. As far as the car is concerned, that's where my question came, because you said you had 2 kids, and most of the cars that I've seen on the road, you can fit 2 car seats in the back.
I'm calling shenanigans, Michaela. What kind of car do you want?
I would prefer a Subaru Forester. But
Of course you would, because those are awesome.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
we're in
it was very
Colorado.
specific.
It's the unofficial car.
I was about to say that's the official car of Colorado, of course.
Yeah.
What do you drive right now?
A Subaru Legacy. So it's really low to the ground, and I don't feel very safe having my toddler in there
Okay.
right now.
So I'll speak for me, Jade. We did my son, who's humongous, and my daughter and my wife in a used Prius, 2010.
Come on, John.
For a long time. And there was lots of legs and elbows and arms, and there was no car payment. So I'm with you on the safety thing. I always had this like, man, I'd feel safer if they were in a Hummer or a Suburban. And I felt even more safe not owing anybody any money with 2 little kids.
Booyah.
That's just my thought. What did you? Y'all the same boat?
My thing is this: you bought the car was safe 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and then once baby comes, suddenly it's not safe. I do think that what John is saying and what you're saying, I think there's some validity to those feelings, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's really more based on feelings. How much debt do you have overall?
Sorry, I calculated it earlier, but I forgot. Oh, $31,000.
31,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this Subaru that you have now, has it given you any is it just it's low to the ground? I feel like I would just want something bigger, or has it given you reason to say, hey, this is not a reliable car whatsoever?
Well, it is low to the ground, and I've had like 2 car seats in there before whenever I've gone with a friend somewhere. Mm-hmm. But it was very squished and not very comfortable for either one of the little babies and things.
But they're in their car seat. They don't know.
Yeah,
they're in their car seat. I think
also like the passenger wasn't very comfortable either.
Well, they'll be all right.
That sounds like a
they'll
passenger
be all
problem
right
to me, right?
Yeah. I really want to challenge you on this, Michaela. I want to challenge you big time to not buy a new car right now. You've got
don't.
debt. I want you to clean up your debt. I want you to go on Stork mode, pause, stack up as much cash as you can for this baby. Once this baby is born and is healthy and everything is good to go, then take all that money, throw it towards your debt snowball. And then after that, if you're feeling like, you know what, before we, go much further, I want to save it for a car, you could do that. But other than that, I'm not buying it, John.
No, here's the thing. I had a picture of what my life would be like, and I didn't even know that picture was there when I had 2 kids, and what my house was going to look like, what my cars were going to look like, and it took some adjustment. It even took some grieving on my part, because the house I had in reality was much smaller.
Yeah.
And the cars that I had were much less nice. and everything was great. I think these major milestones, I got a new job, I got a promotion and a raise, I'm having a kid. If you can hold steady in those big moments and not let your lifestyle swell up to accommodate what the world's telling you got to do, those are those magic little moments when you get ahead financially.
Absolutely the case. Yeah, I mean, what she's saying, I think we've all felt that, but...
Oh, dude, with all my heart, I get it, man. I hurt for her, man, but just can't. Just don't.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
All right, today's question comes from Tiffany from Michigan. Tiffany writes... I love this. My husband fully believes in you. I do not. I have serious doubts. When you don't have the income to take care of your debts, how does your $100 month in savings become over $1 million in 30 years? I mean, seriously, we have 5 kids all the way down to 10-month-old twins. We are dealing with formula shortages, job shortages, and an insane increase of cost of living. How can you possibly believe what you preach is easy when the economy has changed?
Okay.
There's a lot here.
Okay, Tiffany, I'm gonna track with you on this. Yeah, it's not easy. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. Nothing that we teach is easy, and I'm saying that coming from someone who started this journey with a $30,000 combined income with my husband and almost $500,000 of debt. There is no piece of that is easy. There's no piece of that is fun. It is it's a slog, man. It's a struggle slices, if you will. And but that doesn't mean you can't do it. Just because something is very, very difficult doesn't mean it's not completely worth doing and not completely possible to accomplish. So I want to put that out there in your head. And it might change. It might take a mental shift.
Mm-hmm. And I want to touch on this before we get to the money part. All the way down to 10-month-old twins, formula shortages, job shortages, and an insane cost of living. Cost of living's gone up. It's during the inflation of the last few years, it's been wild, right?
Yeah.
Wild,
crazy time.
Job shortages. There are more jobs available than there are human beings in the United States. So in your particular area, that may be true. But across the country, it's not accurate. Mm-hmm. And there's so many unique ways to find work these days. And I'm hearing, and Nashville's been beneficiary, millions and millions and millions of people are saying, hey, we had dreams of always living in California. Yet it got too expensive or the work didn't work out and we're going to move. And we had to say goodbye to family. People have said that about in the Northeast and the Northwest. And they've been moving to my home state of Texas. They've been moving to Nashville here. They've been moving all over the place. And so it may be that season when you look at your husband, like couples and families and have done for centuries, which is say, hey, we had a vision of our life here, and that vision's going to change. We need to move where the work is. And that may be the way it is right now. But to say that it's all coming down just isn't accurate. It's just not accurate. There's hurting people, make no mistake about it. But Jade, we have people all the time here, 12-month-old twins, 5 kids, 7 kids, no kids, 2 kids. It's just part of the math and the plan works every time.
The math works, and her math here is not quite right. $100 a month in savings is not going to be $1 million in 30 years. You'd have to invest $500 a month. That's usually kind of like the holy grail that people preach. $500 a month over 30 years at a 10% rate of return. You're going to have $1 million. That is correct. But we would say actually not to invest in the S&P 500 and index funds. We would say, seek to pick some mutual funds that are going to outperform that. And I know a lot of folks say all the time, you can't beat that. Yes, you can. Over the last 20 years, the S&P 500 has averaged more than 9.87%. And over the last 30 years, it's averaged more than 10%. You have to look at the annualized rate of return. That's how we are measuring that rate of return there. So it is possible. Don't let anybody steal your hope or steal your reality.
Don't let them take your reality. I love that. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information.
Triple 825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. Give us a shout. We're talking money, mental health, marriage, whatever you got going on. We're here for you. Let's go out to Sarah in San Francisco. What's up, Sarah?
Sarah.
Hi, how are you doing today?
So good. How are you?
I'm good.
What's up?
Okay, so my my question is, I went straight to culinary school from high school
Cool.
back in 2003. Thank you. My mom took out a loan for me because I was 17.
Okay.
The original loan was $30,000.
Okay.
We agreed to split it 50-50. Soon as I graduated, I was giving her money every month. I was staying with her because I didn't have the money, but I was giving her money every month. I eventually realized that she was not paying on the student loan at all. When I found out, she apologized and she said that she would start paying. I continued to give her money every month. As you can imagine, I wasn't making very much money at that time. And I then again discovered she was not applying any of that money towards the student loan.
How much have you given her so far, Sarah?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly because I wasn't counting, but I do know that I gave her, when we talked, I gave her at least $5,000.
Okay. How did you give it? Was it a check? How did you do that?
I was giving her cash. I was giving her $200 every month towards that.
Oh man.
Every month
All
towards
right.
that. Well, I was making minimum wage. I was working.
Yeah.
At anyways.
Is your
long
name on the
story
loan or
short,
your mom's name?
Yeah,
Your
is
mom's name is on the loan?
only my mom. It's a Parent Plus loan.
Okay.
So the reason why I know now all this information is because recently she came to me and she brought up this loan because after a while I just stopped giving her money.
How long has it been?
So 2003.
Oh, girl. Okay.
So recently she brought up this loan and she asked me for a lump sum of money. She asked me for about $20,000. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money. I can't give you that. And we didn't agree. I've been giving you money, blah, blah. Long story short, I looked into the loan. She owes over $70,000.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Sarah, listen.
Oh, Lord.
This
Oh.
is
Oh,
geez,
gosh.
all
I'm
of it.
sorry. I had to let a little bit of my... I had to let it out a little bit.
It's really scary, and I don't know what to do.
Here's what's not scary
And-
about it.
yeah.
Okay. There is
Oh
some
my
scary,
gosh.
but it's not, I don't think it's what you think it is. Okay. Here's the scary. You and your mom's relationship is different from this point forward.
Okay.
Okay. And the sooner you come to terms with the fact that your mother did not uphold your end of the agreement, I can tell you all day, I think the agreement was dumb. Y'all should never have set that up. It was destined to create a wedge between a mother and a daughter. But here we are.
Okay.
She has decided to not sit down and be the adult and say, I took out a loan. Here's every month for the next however many years. Here's what you're going to pay me. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to keep a spreadsheet. I'm going to mark off every date, all that, like a bank would do.
Yep.
You basically funded her lifestyle in a tiny little way. And then she comes knocking on your door 20 years later asking for $20,000.
Yeah. Do you know who's not on the hook for this money?
You, Sarah. None.
You're not on the hook. You are not on the hook for this money. Now, this is your mom, and I know that you feel some level of guilt but I should probably,
really bad.
but you gave her the money. You gave it to her.
She's retired.
It doesn't matter. At this point, anything you say about to try to like make it better, I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You gave her the money. She chose. And now, for whatever reasons that she has, which don't matter, she wants that money back from you.
Well, the loan is it tripled?
It's tripled.
Is it 80 or 90,000
It's
bucks
70.
now?
70,000. It's 70,000 and some change, and now she's making me feel like.
Now,
No.
Here's what you could do.
She doesn't. Hold on. She doesn't get to. You're allowing her to get inside you and to make you feel a certain way. You decide who has permission to hurt you. Period. Now, that's harder when it's our mom, because our mom should be the one person on the planet that's always got our side, and yours doesn't. Okay? And I hate that for you, but she's not making you feel bad. You're choosing to feel bad on her behalf.
Okay.
You got to own that.
Okay.
Here's what you could do. Now, you said if you were really interested in feeling very clean walking away from this situation, you said that the loan was $30,000 and you were supposed to split it. So that would be $15K on you. Now, if you're telling me, hey, I paid $5,000 towards this loan, I know that I paid $5,000, give her another $10K and say, hey, I paid my half, and that would have been it. If you wanted to do that and just say, I know I paid $15,000, you didn't do your thing, whatever, you could do that. But you're not on the hook for this.
All right. So Sarah,
That's what I was gonna say.
Sarah, if this is me, like I'm thinking about this being my mom, okay, and we sit down. What I would say is exactly what Jade said, but I would add one extra layer. I would put a payment plan in front of her.
Yeah.
And say, I agreed to pay $15,000 of a $30,000 loan. I'm going to pay you 20 back, and I'm going to already say I've already given you 5, and that's on the low end. So I'm going to pay you $15,000, and here's what I can pay over the next 12 months, 15 months, 24 months.
And you make the payment. Don't hand her any more money. Yes.
Okay, so directly to the if I give it directly to the place, will they now want my information?
Nope.
Or does it matter?
Just log in and pay it. Say, Mom, the only way you're getting this money is I sit right next to you. We log in and we pay it, because you're not handing her. You're not funding her ridiculousness. Because she has not been a good steward with money, so that is ridiculousness. And you're not going to hand her $15,000 to do whatever it is that she's been doing, which whatever that was caused a student loan to triple. All right? So we're not
really
participating in that.
Yes.
Yeah, really bad.
Okay.
So here's another thing we're going to do for you. Sarah, I'm going to give you a year of FPU, okay? And she might not, but she still got $55,000 left to pay off after you write her a check. And so if she wants to, you can sit down and put these videos on, and y'all can come up with a plan. It's not too late for her either. We deal with folks all the time in their 50s, 60s who are figuring it out, and it's not too late. But you get to make that choice. She gets to make that choice, okay? So hang on the line here. We're going to hook you up. And hope, and maybe even say, I'm going to give you $15,000, which is $5,000 more, but you got to sit down and watch these videos with me, because you got $55,000. And listen, if she starts hassling you, starts saying, oh, you're just going to leave your mama to what? You can always stand up and walk out the door. And that's hard, hard, hard. But remember this line, behavior is a language. And if your mom chooses to swear at you, get mad at you, send you on guilt trips that you can't afford, she's telling you through her language, I don't want you around here. I don't value you. And so I'm going to hear what you're saying through your actions, and I'm going to head out the door until we can have a grown-up conversation. It's going to be hard treading. You're going to have to grieve the loss of your mom or your new relationship with your mom, because things are different now.
Dude, money does weird things to people, John.
But this is why, I can't.
Money makes people act up, though. Like
it does. But co-signing on loans, man, I've never seen it work well.
It doesn't work.
I haven't seen it work well.
It doesn't work. Co-signing is stupid.
And especially if you've taken a loan out with your kids and y'all have like car payment loan, you just pay me back, or you
no.
put it in a spreadsheet, be adults, and say, you owe me this much on this date in this way.
And think about this. She said she was 17 when her mom signed that loan. Adults, be adults and understand that your kids were kids and you were adulting them at that time. Do not come after these folks for these Parent Plus loans.
Right.
You
signed them.
Parent Plus. That means parent plus your money. That's
bank,
who's paying it off.
The bank looked at your kid and said, I'm not giving him money. And you said, well, you can give it to me. I'm trustworthy.
Yeah.
Be trustworthy.
Be trustworthy. Be trustworthy.
And pay your bills. Parents, act like parents.
Parents act like parents.
I'm going to have to get the preparation H out. Hey,
John,
this is the Ramsey
you need to
Show.
cool out.
We'll be right back. If you haven't heard, we recently announced that Money and Marriage event is back, and this time it's going to be a whole weekend. Join Rachel Cruz and me right here in Nashville for Money and Marriage Getaway in October that will have you and your spouse feeling more aligned and more connected than ever before. The Money and Marriage Getaway is designed for you and your spouse to disconnect from everyday life and finally, after 3 years of being roommates and co-managers of your house, you can focus on your marriage. I've been hearing from a lot of couples who are struggling to find time to dedicate to your marriage. This is months out, so you got plenty of time to figure something out. This weekend-long event is for you. As part of the getaway, you'll have a fun date night experience. Dude, we're blowing it out. There's going to be time set aside to reflect and grow together. There's going to be some time to be awkward and time to be weird, and plenty of encouragement and ideas from Rachel Cruz and me and others that will help the two of you stay on the same page about your money and your intimacy and your future. So remember, this is an intimate 3-day event. So ticket prices start at $6.99 a couple, which is a steal for a 3-day marriage retreat here in Nashville. So if you're in baby step 2, this event probably is not for you this year. It will be soon. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events to reserve your spots today.
Man, I'm going to that.
It's going to be good.
I'm going to that.
You might be on that stage, so.
Okay, let's do that, John. Let's do that.
The last thing I was about to say, we should invite our spouses, and I thought the last thing on earth my wife wants to do is to sit in an audience and listen to me talk about how to be married.
Sam Warshaw will be there.
She would just want to follow up and be like, let me tell you what it's like being married to that guy. All right, let's go to Joshua in Raleigh, North Carolina. What's up, Joshua?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Partying,
Doing
man.
good.
What's happening?
Not much.
What up?
So just basically wanted to kind of touch base with you guys on some thoughts I've had circulating in my head. I would consider myself not in as much debt as most people, but I mean, that's subject to interpretation.
How much?
What you got?
So right now I'm currently, I'm about $7,500 in credit card debt. And then also, I owe about $6,400 left on my car payment or my truck payment.
Okay.
And then I have my townhouse that I bought as well, so that added into it as well. But that's basically my pool of debt for now.
What do you owe on that townhome?
I think I'm at $160 that I owe now.
What's it worth?
Probably about $240,
okay,
$250, somewhere in that price range.
Cool.
So what are your thoughts for today?
So that's kind of where my thoughts stem from, right, is that I've been reading up on some of the articles on the website and then listening to a lot of the shows and everything. And I just was trying to figure out what would be the smartest decision to make. Like, would it be smart to kind of make a seasonal change and, sell or my townhouse or whatever to eliminate all my debt and kind of get a fresh start, so to speak? Or
what's your monthly payment on it?
It comes out to about $11.60 a month.
And how much money do you bring in monthly for income?
It's around, after taxes and everything else, it's about $3,800 a month.
All right. It's close.
Yeah, it was around 30%, I believe it was, 31%.
What do you do for a living?
So I work for the federal government here. I'm a financial analyst for them at the depot here.
That's not very much money.
Yeah.
Are you making 55 or 60 a year?
No. So that was net, like, bring home after TSP contributions, retirement account contributions, health insurance, like all that stuff is taken out as well.
Okay, so you're at $3,800 after contributions.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah. So
that's great news.
Before taxes, like, I'm sitting at around 91,000.
Okay.
salary.
Okay. So
Hold on, 91 and a take home of 38.
Yeah.
How much are you contributing to your retirement?
So I have two different pools right now. There's the thrift savings plan that I contribute to,
Very good.
and then there's the other. I believe it's FERS, Federal Employee Retirement. Something I can't remember.
What's
so
the total contribution between the two of those?
I'm at 8% in the TSP because they match up to 5%.
Okay.
And then the other one is just automatic. So I'd have to dig in a little further to see exactly what percentages of that.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I would do. You're calling the Ramsey Show. Here's the Ramsey method.
Yeah.
I would not sell the house because it's really not the problem here. The problem is pretty small. You've got almost $14,000 of debt. I'm not going to sell the house to get rid of $14,000 of debt. Not when you're investing at least 8% into retirement and probably more, possibly double. We don't know how much. So what we teach is that when we're in baby step 2, which is for all intents and purposes what you're in, when you're paying off debt, we pause investing so that we can pay off our debt as quickly as possible. So if I were in your shoes, and this is what I believe that you should do, pause your investing so you can get this debt paid off. You're going to have so much more income left, and you're going to be able to knock this out quickly. Do you have any money saved in savings?
Yeah. So currently I have about, it's around $800, $900 right now.
Okay.
I think, like, in cash.
Okay, great. So let's bump that up to $1,000 and get your starter
Mm-hmm.
emergency fund. That's baby step 1. And then while you're doing that today, go onto your, company's, HR portal, wherever it is that you manage your contributions, and let's stop that contribution.
Or it's the federal government, so you may need to send a carrier pigeon.
Oh, that's a good point. It is the federal government. Yeah. Go down to the DMV. I'm just kidding. Whatever that means for you to pause that contribution, that's a lot of money left in your pocket. And I know a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, a lot of people get squirrely over this one because it's like, no, time is on my side. I need to get the compound interest. I need to get the match. The match is going to be there. This is going to take you less than a year to pay off.
And so
the match is going to be there. And then, one sec, John, then you're going to have 15% to invest, not 8%. You're going to have more, and you're going to make up for that loss. So let's just walk those baby steps, pay off the debt, and then get your 3 to 6 months, and then baby step 4, investing 15%.
Josh, when my wife and I sat down and mapped it all out, we owed 6 figures. And I sold my house, and because I had an opportunity to live for free for a year in an apartment on campus. And so I had a unique situation where I dug myself such a massive hole, and I had an opportunity that was just a straight shot laser beam to get out. If you tell me, hey, I'm done with the townhome life, I want to actually leave Raleigh, I want to control alt delete, I'm kind of done with the federal job, I want to go back into private banking or whatever, that's a whole other conversation. That's a life conversation that if you start to transition your life, you're going to have some free cash after you sell your place to pay off your debts. That would just be, hey, I've got $80,000 or $90,000 from the equity of the sale. I'm going to go ahead and pay this thing off. But I firmly believe what she just said. Don't not for $14,000, man. I mean, you're talking like a couple of clicks on a website and 3 or 4 months of dedicated work, and you're free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there's something to be said about just walking yourself through that process of paying
something you got to
paying
grind
off
it out.
debt.
Yeah,
Making those payments and realizing, okay, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel good paying off debt, right? It doesn't feel good pausing your retirement. And when you feel that in your body, it changes the way you do things, because you go, I don't want to go back to that. I don't ever want to have to pause my retirement contributions again, right? I don't ever want to have to sacrifice to this extent again. So it's really good to allow yourself to feel that and not try to bypass that with a quick, sale of a house where you can just go get another one.
And Joshua, you're new to our gang, right?
Yeah. So I'd kind of been listening in, but pretty intently for like the past couple weeks or so.
Okay. I want you to get ready for what's coming. You make almost six figures as a federal employee. You're going to have an old used car in the parking lot, and your coworkers are going to make fun of you. You're going to pause spending. Your coworkers are going to say, what are you doing? Are you trying to bankrupt yourself? Do you realize how good we've got it here in the federal whatever? And people are going to look at you like you're nuts because you're paying your debts off. Keep moving forward like millions and millions of other people have walked the path ahead of you to freedom. Be the weird guy in the parking lot, man. And that's for everybody in America. Be the weird person in the parking lot. And the weird person with a big bank account. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Dr. John Deloney. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work they love, and create actual, incredible relationships. I'm John Deloney, joined here by my good friend Jade Warshaw, and we're taking your calls on money, life, relationships, work, whatever's going on in your world, we're here for you. 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Before we go to the phones, there's these two guys out here in the lobby that have their own homemade Dave Ramsey shirts. Just so you know, if you ever come visit us, Dave loves a good shirt with his face on it. So there they are.
Dead is dumb, cash is king.
That's what I'm saying, man. They did it. They're doing it right. Well done, guys. All right, let's go out to Josh in Ontario. What's up, brother Josh?
Hey, Jade. Hey, John.
What's
up,
going
man?
on?
Thanks for taking my call today. I'm glad to get on here with you. I have a credit card question for you.
Okay, what's going on?
Me and my wife are finally making some headway, and we got rid of our last credit card in January.
Way to go.
We're really enjoying it. And we got everything over to debit credit cards and then a few things on a prepaid credit card, like our purchasing items that needed credit cards. Now, we have a small plumbing business, and we run ads online with an online advertiser, and they won't accept anything debit credit or prepaid credit. They'll only accept real credit cards, and we've got our ads off right now. Those are about 20 to 40% of our calls for the week, or it's a plumbing business, plumbing calls, so it's
so Josh,
$8,000 of revenue.
Josh, that's a huge thing just to turn that spigot off. I can't believe they would do that, but nothing surprises me anymore. One, I would keep my eye out for another service provider that's going to have the same values that I have. That's just going to be a thing I want to figure out in life. I want to do business with people that see the world like I do, or are going to be inclusive and aren't going to make me jump through hoops to give them my money. It just drives me crazy. Rental car company, I just make it easy for me to pay you. That's number one. But the second thing is, I'm going to say a company over the air. I just want to say, I don't want to have any liability against it. This is just who I use personally. So if you were my friend and we were having a drink, I would tell you, there's a company called privacy.com. And what I do is I put my debit card in there once, and then they give me a new card for every online vendor that I use. So Amazon does not have my banking information, and they provide a new card for Amazon. They provide a new card when I buy protein shakes. They provide a new card when my wife pays for her Squarespace, for her website, for her business. So I probably have 40 or so different cards with different vendors that I use online, buying shoes, whatever it is you're buying. I don't want all these other companies to have my banking info, but I think if you did something like privacy.com, you put your debit card in there and it's going to create a card that's going to go to this online vendor, and it's going to be what you need. The service is completely free.
I love that idea.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work,
That's cool.
if that doesn't work, which I think that it will, but look into PayPal, use a PayPal card, use a Stripe card, use a Squarespace card. They're not credit cards. You can have them set up in debit format. But if this vendor is not in 2023 and they're not understanding that these are real payment sources, you got to find a new vendor.
Yeah.
That's like a place that only takes a check. You know what I'm saying? Like you go in there, it's like, what is wrong with you guys?
I won't say them online, but it starts with G and ends with O. So it is hard to get a person on.
Yes.
Yeah.
In contact with a person who works there. It's mostly automated.
Well, and I can tell you, I'm fairly certain we have ads with them, and I can guarantee you we're not using a credit card. So I don't know how the people have figured out how to do that, but there's a way. I'm confident there's ways. Mm-hmm. But try privacy.com and give that a shot. And again, I've got no deal with them. I'm not making any money off this. There's no advertisement. They're not an advertiser of the show. That's just who I use personally in my own life. And I was doing it more for privacy issues, but it sounds like this would help you get around that. Yeah,
that's crazy. It's time to find a new vendor.
It's so strange, Jay. We're like in a world where I have to ask, like, we're in Austin recently, and I was, do y'all take cash? Do y'all take money?
When it's hard for me to give a business money,
I know
you need to reevaluate. I should just be able to give you money in whatever form I want to give you money. And if you're a business and you're going, no, I don't like that kind of money. I want the other kind. No, I don't have it. Okay, we don't want your business. Are you kidding me?
I know, I'm trying to give you money. I remember I had a hard conversation once with a rental car company that I won't name on air. I did on my show. And I finally said, hey, I'm trying to give you my money. Would you take it? Would you take my money? And
no.
She did not. All right, let's go to Daniel in H-Town. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, how's it going?
Partying, man. What are you up to?
All right, so I'm in baby step 3B, and I've got some car troubles, and I need repairs that total about $5,300. This is a 2008.
What did you do?
Yeah, what happened?
Richard, what'd you do?
Did you what happened?
I've just been driving it.
Not $5,300.
What is that? A new transmission? A new motor? What is that? What's the $5,300 for?
Yep. It's a new transmission, and then also a front crankshaft seal and a new timing chain. And it just started making a Chewbacca growl when I make a left turn too. So
what is
probably
this car
you're eating
worth?
too much Taco Bell. That noise is you. That's you.
What's the car worth?
So with the transmission needing to be replaced, I'm guessing a fair price, which in a private sale would yield about $2,700. If it's in very good condition, it's $3,800.
So if you want to pay $5,300 for the car, that's at this point not even worth $3,000?
I made the mistake of getting attached to it.
I wouldn't do that. I'd probably start looking for something new. These are major, major repairs.
Are you married?
Divorced with one child.
Okay. Do you have a pet?
No.
You should get one of those and get attached to it. Not your failing vehicle, my brother.
I mean, here's the thing. You don't have any debt. You're in baby step 3B. How quickly can you cash flow something that's better than a $3,000 car?
I mean, I could just take it from the emergency fund for now, and then...
But can you add any of your cash flow to it so that you're not pulling too much from your...
Yeah. I mean, I would say like 2 months of cash flow, and then whatever I could get for the car that's going out.
Man, I'm doing that.
Yeah, you can get a $7,500 car that way.
Yeah. Spend $6,000 to $8,000, get you something better than this, and be on your merry way. That's what I'm doing, John.
Absolutely. Have a ceremony. Sounds like you love this car. Get it a nice oil change. Tell her that you love it.
Something happened in this
And
car.
trade this car in, my brother. My gosh.
Something happened in this car. That's all I'm saying.
It's time for those memories to go goodbye. Get rid of it, my man. Drive safe on those Houston roads. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back.
We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
This is The Ramsey Show. Listen, if you're a new listener and you want to dive deeper into the Ramsey baby steps, if you listen to the show and you're brand new to us and you're like, what are they talking about? They sound like weirdos. You are correct. They sound like they're in a cult. You are correct. Sound like they have different advice than everybody else. Yes. If you want to learn more, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. Here's the deal. We're going to help you figure out the next best step for your financial journey based on exactly where you are today. Some people have a lot of money in the bank. They got money coming. They're broke. Some people owe 6 figures. Some people owe $500,000 like Jade and Sam did. Wherever you are, go to RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started, and we will line you up with the exact approach tailored for you. And by the way, a great way, if you've been with us for a long time, Ralph Mendoza, some of our other gang who've been with us forever. A great gift to people in your neighborhood and community that would never know about the show otherwise is if you will go hit the subscribe button, click the leave a review, click the thumbs up, whatever it is. If you subscribe to it, it kicks it up in the algorithms, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on TikToks, or whether you're on YouTube, whatever platform. It kicks it up into the algorithms and it puts the show in front of more people. And it's a no-cost way of helping us out, but more importantly, helping out your neighbors. And so please hit the subscribe button today. All right, let's go to Hampton in Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, Hampton?
Hampton. I like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What up?
Not too much. How are y'all?
We're
doing good.
Doing great, man.
Great. Yeah, so I listen on YouTube here and there and kind of just wanted to call in and see if I could get y'all's opinion on my current situation.
So what's the situation?
So I'm 29. I'll be 29 in April, so I'm still 28. But I purchased my first home 4 years ago on my 25th birthday.
Cool.
And, it was a good time to buy. I have a good amount of equity, about $150,000 in equity. And I was wondering if now is the time for me to upgrade in home. I've never really wanted to live in a neighborhood, and that's kind of where I'm at now. And I'm just wondering if now is a good time to sell my house to purchase another one, given my financial situation.
Do you have any debt?
I have no debt whatsoever, just the house. I owe $165 on it.
Okay.
I got it for $181, and it's worth about $320.
Great.
Excellent.
So, I mean, money-wise, there's nothing really stopping you. I mean, of course, you want to purchase it based on those parameters that we set. We don't want the payment to be any more than 25% of your take-home pay, and that's with insurance and everything all combined. On a 15-year fixed, have you found something that's within those parameters that you're looking at?
So and that's what makes this kind of tough for me and makes me second guess it. I'm self-employed. I own my own company. And the way my taxes are structured, I would have to go bank statement loan. So we're talking 8-9% interest. And right now I'm currently on an FHA that's 2.75 interest.
Well, can you explain to me when you said bank statement loan? I'm actually not familiar with that.
So, conventional loans and FHA loans are based off, your income, your net income.
Right.
And I just write off a lot through my business. So I wouldn't qualify right now for conventional.
Yeah. And that's what I want you to get. I want you to get a conventional loan. And if you can't get it, I wouldn't do this.
Do
yeah.
And if you are sketching around your taxes, don't do that either, man.
No, I'm definitely not doing that. It's just I'm taking
I have a
advantage
question.
of everything I can write off currently.
I have a question from that because Sam and I were business owners, and I had a 0 credit score at the time, and his was dropping down to 0, and we were able to get a conventional loan, 15-year fixed.
No, I think what Hampton, tell me if I'm wrong. I think what he's saying is the way he is able to write off everything, it looks like his business makes about $1,400 a year.
Oh, okay. So I see what you're doing there.
And so
now it's coming back to bite you on the butt because it looks like your business makes no money.
It looks like my business makes no money.
All right.
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
So two thoughts. I'm glad that this bit you in the butt because your butt needed biting. That's thing one. And thing two is, hey, you got to pay your taxes and you got to do it right.
Do it right. Here's what I would say. I want to always challenge when somebody says, I'm ready to move up. We have a culture that says now that you make this much money, you should be driving this car. And I wholeheartedly reject that. It sounds like you're also ready to change your lifestyle. It might have been really cool to have a townhome downtown or a loft downtown, and now the idea of just having a suburb and laying low is pretty cool, and having things be a little bit more chill, a little bit closer to work. You're talking about a lifestyle change, and so I just want to be careful about the language. Like, it's time to move up. I just reject that, man. If you want to get a nice house, get a nice house, but don't do it because you're on a treadmill of any sort. And if you want to change your life. But as Jade said, man, it doesn't sound like your business is. If the bank looks at you and says, I'm not going to give you any money unless we do a special deal that's going to cost you a bunch of extra dollars for us to feel safe about this risk, then that's the bank telling you we really don't want to take your money right now because we don't trust you. And if the bank doesn't trust you, then sometimes that's a sign that you're not ready to buy another house yet.
So just over this quick little break, while John was talking, I was looking at these bank statement loans. So the difference is for small businesses, if you don't want to show your tax returns and you don't want to show your net income, all you do is show your bank statement, because at that point it's just based off of how much money has been in your bank account. So I see, okay, yeah.
But think how sketch that can get, because if you work construction, I can deposit $50,000 in that account, show that to the bank, and then turn around and buy $49,000 worth of materials for that job.
Yeah.
And if you're running pretty tight like this, so yeah, dude, Hampton, it sounds like you need some more work, and it sounds like you need to get your profit margin way, way, way up.
Yeah,
way up.
15-year fixed conventional loan is what we would teach here.
Yeah.
So
I'd stay put, my brother. Stay put.
Yep.
All right, let's run out to Calvin real quick in Michigan. Calvin, right up against the clock, so get right to your question. What's up?
Hi, thank you guys for taking my call. I really appreciate it. I'm 19, and I've been listening to Dave Ramsey for like 2 or 3 years. I found him on YouTube on accident, and was honestly the best thing I've ever done. And
awesome.
I'm a no debt, no credit card guy. But my question is, so I'm about to graduate community college with a associate's in business, and I want to go into marketing. And I live with my mom. I don't have any debt, and I was wondering if I should start going into the field, or if I should do another 2 years at a college, and I mean, it's more money, but I want to start saving for a house. And because I'm crazy and I want to pay for a house in full.
That's not crazy. You need to get Calvin. You need to get a job. And both, I finished 2 PhDs with a full-time job and little kids. It'll make you busy, but if you decide, hey, I need to go get a degree, or the business I work for, I love, says, hey, you need to go get some extra credentials, or you need to get some extra training, you can do that while working.
Yeah, I'd get the job first and see if they'll pay, if anything, pay for your education.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd focus on one thing at a time. Don't do it if you're not going to pay cash for it. I don't want you going into debt for a 4-year degree, or any degree for that matter. And then it also sounds like you've kind of got a lot floating around in your brain because you're also talking about buying a house. So let's kind of like focus on one thing at a time and make it a clear decision there, and make sure all the decisions that you're making are lining you up to go down the path that you want to go down, as opposed to just, this sounds good, I'll do that. Well, now this sounds good, I'm going to go do that. Does that make sense? See if the job that you want you can get with just this 2-year associates.
And Calvin, find some folks. Hang on the line here. Kelly's going to send you a copy of our friend Ken Coleman's book, Proximity Principle. I want you to get connected to a couple of folks who do marketing in your area, and they do it at a scale that you want to do it. They run an agency, they're a partner in an agency, or they're doing it local, like small time, whatever you envision yourself 5 or 10 years from now doing that. Take them out to coffee. It could be someone from your church. It could be someone from your local neighborhood. You just reach out to someone on LinkedIn, take them out to coffee, ask them what their life is like, and ask them the credentialing question. And they're going to give you a much more direct answer, especially for your regional market there.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
This is the Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225.
All right. If you're planning to move soon, we know that it can be expensive. And for that fact, I've got good news for you guys. Our studio sponsor, which is Pods Moving and Storage, they want to help you guys move for free. Can you believe that? All you have to do is get a quote at pods.com/Ramsey between February 20th and March 3rd in order to enter to win this. It's that simple. You're going to pods.com/Ramsey between February 20th and March 3rd. Now, one listener is going to get a free move, which is valued up to $5,000, and $10,000 in cold, hard cash, baby. That's what I'm talking about. If you're following the math, that's a total value of $15,000. John, can I just tell y'all, when we moved from Florida to Tennessee, I had no idea how much this would cost.
Oh, dude, we moved from Texas to Tennessee. They basically were like, hey, you can pay us or we'll just take one of your kids.
Man, what? These quotes were like $19,000 and $20,000. Oh, yeah. I was sick. Now, look, Pods just made this even easier with flexibility that you need, the control that you want, and the customer service that you deserve. Oh, gosh. I wish this had been there when we were moving. If you're looking for a company that will help you with your move on your terms, then Pods is the only Ramsey trusted moving provider out there. So go to pods.com/Ramsey and enter for your chance to win a free move and $10,000 in cold hard cash today. That's pods.com/Ramsey.
All right, let's go to Amy in Grand Rapids. What is up, Amy? How we doing?
Hi, thanks so much, guys, for having me.
You got it.
I'm calling. Yeah, so my husband and I have 2 houses. We are living in my house, and we are fixing his house. And
are y'all newlyweds?
We have a loan. What's that?
Are y'all newlyweds?
About 4 years. We'll be 4 years this July.
Have y'all been living in separate houses?
Sorry, we have
no,
lots of
he had
questions.
A house and okay, no problem. Yeah, we both had a house when we got married, but his house needed to be repaired, and so we were living at my house.
What have y'all done for 4 years with his house?
We've been working on it. So we had actually taken out a repair loan, and then we've been paying that back, and then we've also paid cash for the remaining portion of his house. And his house is getting very close to being done. And so we still have my house. I have a mortgage on my house, and we have about $11,000 left to pay for the remainder of the construction repair that we have for his house.
How much is the mortgage on your house?
We still have about $47,000 for my house.
Okay. And now on his, you said the repairs were $11K. Is there anything else mortgage-wise on that?
Nope. His house is otherwise paid for.
What's it worth?
I think we met with a realtor. We haven't had it appraised recently, but it's probably about $125,000 to $150,000.
What's yours worth?
Mine was about $89,000.
Do you guys have any other debt?
According to the realtor. Yes, we have. I have student loans of $30,000 approximately.
That's it between the two of you?
Yep. Well, we have the $30,000 for my student loans. My house is $47,000, and the repair loan for his house is about $11,000, and that's the entire amount of debt we have currently.
All right. I don't love this situation. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that you guys have two homes with a mortgage. What's the plan? What's the ultimate plan with these homes? Because you don't need two houses.
Right. That's my question too, because we have his house is almost ready to be moved into. My house is right next to a lake, and so we have thought about in the future potentially putting it as an Airbnb house. So that's kind of what we've gone back and forth on. Would it be financially profitable to keep it and operate it in that way, because his house is nearly paid for, and then we would be paying off my house.
I mean, if that's a business venture you guys want to get into when the time comes, right now, I'm focused on the debt. I'm looking at when you line up this money like this, I'm like, all right, how do we get out of debt? I don't like that you have $30K of student loans sitting around, and I don't like that you have two mortgages on top of it. So my first indication is, can we get rid of one of them? Can we focus on one thing? Can we pay off his with the quickness? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I would love to see y'all move in.
Pay off his.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're saying to pay off his remainder of the construction loan at $11,000?
I'm just saying, I would love to see you guys. It sounds like if you sold one of these houses and moved into one, A, you would dramatically simplify your lives. B, you'd owe nobody anything on the planet. You'd have no mortgage, no nothing. And then the ROI of this, the big buzzword is cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Yeah. You free up, because don't owe anybody anything. You free up about that much, and you can save up over the next couple of years and buy your $89,000 house back in cash, and not the same one, obviously, but you set yourself up a life with very little risk at that point. Does that make sense? Versus having two mortgages, $30,000 in student loan debt. We're hoping, fingers crossed, the government just will wipe away for us. They're not going to.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying? You set yourself up in a really cool thing, but man, y'all are making your lives complicated. 4 years.
It's complex.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that's helpful. Like I said, we were kind of just debating on whether to keep it as a potential Airbnb in. Because we live in a town where about 20 minutes from Lake Michigan, and so that is a huge profit area.
I think if you add Airbnb to the mix right now, you're further complicating a situation and you're adding risk to it. I'm not an Airbnb expert. I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not an Airbnb expert, but I know that there's a lot of cost associated with that. I don't think it's something that you could just walk in and be like, we're just going to make a killing. I think that you have to think through it on every side.
If y'all went crazy, just went stone mad, how quick could you pay off the $30,000 and that $11,000, the $41,000? How quickly could y'all get that together and pay it off?
It would probably be a little while, because we have a lot of expenses we're both we're paying for my house and then paying for his house, and then we also have daycare, which is astronomically expensive. So,
how many kids do you have?
The maintenance. We have one child.
Okay, and can I ask one more question? I don't want to sound like I'm interrogating you, but do you have any liquid cash?
Yeah, we have about $14,000.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say to you, and I hope you don't take it as me coming down on hard on you, but you called us. Y'all are doing the most and also doing the least, all right? You have like this grandmaster plan, but I don't feel like it's planning for you. Like the math is not mathing for you because you didn't call here talking about, we've got so much money, we just don't know what to do with it. You called me with a pile of debt. And so because of that, I got to teach you what I know works, which is the baby steps. That's what I know works. It's helped millions of people. And right now you guys are so far over, just all over the place. So we would talk about like the $14K. Why don't you have his house paid off instantly? It's $11,000. Have a paid for mortgage, for the love of God. And then you're free.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And now walk through the baby steps, pay off that $11,000 loan. And now you've got, $3,000 left, and let's pile that, keep $1,000 aside for, your starter emergency fund. And let's plow through that next $29,000 of debt, or $28,000 at that point of student loan debt. Plow through that. And at that point, you've just got your mortgage, and it's a normal size. Actually, it's not a normal size mortgage. It's tiny. And let's walk through these baby steps. The good thing is you're not owing, you don't owe $200,000 and $300,000 on a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? You don't have $200,000 and $300,000 of student loan debt. So you guys are playing patty cake with this and extending it and making it all weird, where this could be really simple and cut and dry, and you could have one mortgage by morning. I love that plan for you. And then you do have, you see what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Why don't you like that, Amy? Something doesn't stick with you.
No, I was listening. So I guess when we first had got together in Par, we actually have been doing the baby steps. Of course, we've gotten away from it a bit.
No, this is not the baby steps.
Couple of years.
This is not the baby steps. I got to cut you off on that. Work the plan that I just gave you to work, and you guys are going to be sitting pretty.
You are sitting on Lake Michigan. I went there as a kid. It's beautiful, and I think you could probably do well with an Airbnb there, but let's do it in the right order so that you don't put everything at risk for this dream of owning real estate. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. This is The Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Jade Warshaw. Is your marriage going sideways? Give us a shout. Are you struggling with your mental health, or got money questions, or you just don't know what to do with your kids? Holler at us. 888-825-5225. Let's go out to Chris in Springfield, Missouri. What's up, Chris? How we doing?
Hey, man. Before I start, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys and everybody at Ramsey Solutions. Since I was younger, you've had a really positive impact on me and my financial decisions. So
cool.
I just want to say for that.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. What's happening?
I think it would be important just to give you guys a little bit of context on me and just my background before I ask my question. So basically, I've always been really good with my money. Over a few years, I was able to save up like $50,000. $40,000 of it was in my savings, and then $10,000 of it I had invested in mutual funds. I also am going to school, I like to say better than debt-free, because I'm going totally free.
Good for you, man.
Just through
That's awesome.
scholarships and a work study and stuff like that. So with that, though, during all of that time that I was accumulating those funds, I was in an abusive relationship. Pretty much like anything negative you could think of.
I'm sorry.
She dished all that out. So it kind of messed me up. And when I was finally able to get out of it, as a way of coping, I guess, I started spending my money on a lot of stuff. Sorry.
You're all right.
Over like maybe 8 months now, I've totally drained all my savings, and I've pulled out all my investments, and I've just spent it all on crap. And I probably only have like, I don't know, maybe a little under $2,000 now.
Okay.
So I don't really know where to go from here, because my plan originally was, once I get my bachelor's, the deal that I kind of have with my parents is like, once I'm done with college, I'm out of the house, and that's just what it is. And I was going to go to grad school and everything, but I'm just not really sure how to like go about doing that and just what to do financially anymore.
So I think, Dave's been saying for years, your money is just a reflection of what's going on in your heart and mind and soul and life. And so right now I want to move the money conversation over. It's a big neon sign letting you know that you're not all right now. And I want to tell you, having sat with people, I can't count how many people I've sat across the table with or sat next to who are trying to figure out who they are after leaving an abusive relationship. And the chaos of, I still love that person, but that person deeply hurt me in a number of different ways. I lost part of myself, and I don't even know what that means and how to get that back. All of that stuff is all chaotic and a mess. And yeah, man, you got out your spending card and went bananas. What I would tell you is the sun came up today, right?
That's true, yeah.
You got $2,000. And I don't want to minimize. You're going to have some grief, and you're probably going to have some resentment. You're going to have all that stuff. All those feelings, dude, listen to me. They're right. They're fine. They're good. They're right. The only thing you can do from this moment forward, you can't go back and edit sentences that have already been written. They got a period at the end of them. You were in love with somebody that hurt you deeply. You broke up. You spent $48,000 in a spending spree to wallpaper over depression and grief and sadness. And here you are. And the things you told us leading up to those moments tell me that you are a strong kid and that you're a driven guy and you have accomplished a ton. We very few of the adults that call into this show have $50,000, access $50,000 cash, my brother. Very few people call in and say, hey, I figured out how to do college for free. And so you had a plan, and that plan's going to be different now. You had a plan, you're just going to waltz into grad school, into your next job because you had a big nest egg. Well, you don't have that anymore, so cool. Nothing about what you've told me suggests that you suddenly have lost the ability to work really hard, because I know that's who you are. And nothing you've told me says suddenly you're dumb, because you're not. What you have told me is you're going to have to spend a season grieving this. You're going to have to go spend some time with a counselor. Okay? And I would tell you that if you were my best friend or you're my brother.
Okay.
Okay? And you're going to spend some time healing, and you're going to spend some time. Here's the uncomfortable truth about abusive relationships that people often don't hear. It's real easy to be on the outside of that and to demonize the abuser. What people often fail to take into account is the person being abused loses trust in themselves. I don't even trust me anymore. And now you've got 48,000 reasons to further not trust you, right? What you're going to have to do is learn to build trust in Chris again. That's just going to take some practice, my man.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I want you to hang on the line here. You're still in school, right?
Yeah, I got a year left.
Okay. Here's why that's fantastic. I'm so happy, because that means you have access to a student counseling center that's going to be outstanding. And in a time when it's very hard to just call a therapist off the street and get an appointment, you're going to be able to do that. So I want you to make that call today. In exchange for making that call, We're going to send you Ken Coleman's Get Clear assessment. We're going to send you his book, Paycheck to Purpose. And I'm going to send you my book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future. And that my whole book is what happens when you are sitting down and you realize you're an ash, and how do you take that next step out. Okay. I'm grateful for the call, man, and we love you, and we'll help you every step of the way here. I just need you to hear me say you're not broken. You're not dysfunctional. You didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you blew a bunch of money, and I would laugh with you and high five you if we were sitting at the table. And also, I don't believe in the phrase too soon. That's just kind of me. But I'd high five you, and then we would get on with, okay, what comes next? But you got some healing to do.
Oh, yeah. That's tough. I think you covered it. I'm not going to add or take away. I'm trying to think of how I've wrestled with moments in my life, Jade, when I've just flat out set my values on fire, or I've flat out done something that I said I wasn't going to do, or I've spent my time poking my finger at people who do things, and then all of a sudden I look up 6 months later and I'm that guy now. Right. You know, it's tough. I was sitting here trying to think of a similar situation. I'm like, when have I been there? Like, what have I done? And it's you can really live in the past and wallow in like, man, what I did, I spent $48,000. How could I have done that? But then it's like, what are you going to do next?
And I think as a culture, we have two narratives. One is you're always going to be the worst thing you've ever done, the worst thing that ever happened to you. You're always going to be the dumbest thing you've ever done. And then the other one is, if you have feelings and you're a coward and a wimp and you're weak, you need to just suck it up and grind it. And I think that's nonsense. I think the world is desperate for a new third way, which is we're going to spend some time feeling sad, and we're going to have some grief. You went through hell, and you did some dumb stuff.
Yeah,
let's just
acknowledge it. Yeah.
And then we're going to get the right people around us, and because we can't do it alone, we're going to get the right people around us, and then we're going to take the next crooked, wobbly step forward to wherever it is we're going, right?
Yeah. Progress, not necessarily perfection. Nobody's out here doing things perfect. We're all just trying to make some kind of progress forward, right?
I mean, George Campbell tells us he's perfect.
His hair is perfect.
His hair is perfect.
It's high. It's high and tight.
Well, you should see the hairdryer he has back there.
I've never seen it.
He actually converted an old air conditioner. It's really an extraordinary.
I need to get on that then.
Well, they have a special plug in there. It's like a 220. It's incredible. But hey, that's another hour in the books here on the Ramsey Show. Be kind to one another. Pay off your debts. We'll be right back.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work they love, and build actual incredible relationships. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Jade Warshaw. We're taking your calls on life and money and marriage and whatever else is going on, your kids, work, all of it. 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. Let's go out to Brad in the Bay, Tampa, Florida. What's up, Brad?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys.
You got it. What's happening?
Brother, I've got an easy question and a hard question. My easy question is this: do you guys know how awesome you really are?
Ooh, do you know how awesome you really are?
I accept, Brad. And I also...
You guys are good.
I know that means the next question is going to be real, real bad.
It is. Are you buttering us up?
I am, man. I'm fattening you up for the kill.
Oh, what have you done, Brad? What have you done?
I'm telling you. Oh, no, it's not. Well, okay. So let's get to the tough part, right? So I'm a pastor of a really, really great church in Tampa Bay. I inherited a mess, sadly.
Oh, no.
I've been here 9 years. It didn't take me long to find out that the church had every financial and immoral scandal that you can imagine. We've been through a lot. We've grown a lot. It's such a sad story, but if you can imagine, when ministries go through things like this, there is always a financial repercussion that is behind that type of scandal.
Correct.
So here's my story, the brief version. We started with $1.2 million of debt. The deacons didn't know we had it. The church didn't know we had it, and I found it out when I actually arrived here as pastor. I did not even know when I came here that we had this debt.
Was it secured debt, or is it frivolous, or is it on a building project? What's the debt on?
It was $1.2 million in secured debt mortgage. It was another $300,000, almost $300,000 in unsecured debt. Florists, a host of other different things, and so. The short version of it is we have gotten rid of every unsecured debt creditor that we had. We've worked the mortgage down in 7 years. We've worked it down from $1.2 million to just over $600,000.
Wow.
Way to go, man.
Yeah, and so here's where I'm at. This is kind of a problem now. I've been reading the headlines that it looks like the interest rate may be going up 3 times possibly by the end of this calendar year. And I don't know what to do. There's no debt snowball that I'm aware of that we could do at this point. All we have left is our mortgage.
Right.
It's about $6,000. It's a little over $6,000 a month that we're paying into this. Of course, you know the situation with the interest rate rising last year. If we do that again 3 times this year, we are just, it's just hurting us. It's just really an anchor around our neck.
Is the debt on an adjustable arm?
No, it's not.
So you're talking about the increase in interest rates will negatively impact the tithing?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out why your
sorry.
interest rate on the mortgage would be higher.
I'm sorry, I might have gotten that wrong. The interest rate, every time it goes, I'm not sure about that terminology, but the interest rate, every time it goes up, it is causing the payment that we are making to go less to principal and more to interest.
So your rate is adjustable, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's called adjustable rate
there we
mortgage,
go,
which is the absolute worst kind because it
Yeah,
that's what a mess.
So we have that. Here's the good news. We're sitting on 7.2 acres of real estate in Tampa Bay.
Okay.
We have no other debt other than the typical church expenses, so on and so forth.
How big is your
down
church?
To 600. We run about 100, 150.
Oh, okay.
And
wow, you guys made a lot of... Sorry, I just need to acknowledge the...
Yeah, I don't know if we could coin a new term here, but we called it Project Anaconda. We just kept squeezing and squeezing and squeezing.
You sure did.
We had to say no to so many things. And so we're doing well, spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
There's unity in the church. The church is with me. The church is growing. It's beautiful. I mean, it's amazing how, we really have seen God just turn this place around. It's really emotional for me. But
has
I
anybody
don't know what to do at this point.
Is it possible to refinance out of that adjustable rate mortgage and into something that's a fixed rate?
It's possible that we could do that, but I actually spoke with a friend of mine who advised against that. I'm not exactly sure if that's the best way to do it, or if my other solution, which is to take the money that we have and just attack the debt, even if it causes us to have a low balance in our accounts. For example, right now, our Christian school, we have about $225,000 in that account. We have an emergency fund of $50,000 that's been set aside. We have a little over $100,000 in our general fund. So we have some money. So my question is, and we do this fundraiser every May to attack the debt. So my question is, should we just stay the course? It looks like in about 6.5, 7 years we'll be paid off.
Yeah.
But if we keep throwing chunks of money at this, is that the best solution to avoid interest? Or should I suggest to our church, our elders and deacons, that we nearly empty our accounts and just go for it?
I don't know that I would empty the accounts. I think that you do need to have some money set aside because it's not your
Business
personal
operations,
finances. Yeah. So I wouldn't empty accounts. I would stay the course, and I would get with all of the planning committees and every committee and talk about how we raise funds, and just get really crazy about doing events, doing anything that you can to raise money, and just keep attacking this debt. You know, if it was personal debt, we would talk about side hustling and going out and finding ways to make money. And I kind of want to translate that to you. Like, what are ways that this church can bring in income? What are ways that you can fire people up to start giving more? And
I'm a very careful pastor about funds because I don't want to be the money grubbing guy.
Absolutely.
There's so many of those guys, and I don't want to be that guy.
But let me tell you the other side of it. Let me tell you the other side of it, because I'm that way too. Okay, I grew up. My dad was a homicide detective, and he quit and became a minister, and I got to see what life was like behind the curtain. I'm like you. Okay. Also, there's people who would be deeply blessed and fortunate within your church if they were asked specifically for an opportunity to give.
Yep.
And I won't speak, I want to keep it private, but my pastor came recently and said, hey, here's a particular need that, and I said, as long as nobody ever knows, I'm in. And it was a great gift to me and my wife. And so what I would tell you is don't rob your church of the opportunity to step up and do things that they never thought possible, both collectively and individually. And it may be that this is the season you got to get over that a little bit. The other thing is, also the headlines are telling us aliens have landed. They're telling us all kind of stuff, man. There's a point when being overinformed is unhealthy. Mm-hmm. I put the newspaper down, and let's build a plan to pay this debt off in the next 24 months. Let's do it, man.
Greater things are yet to come, Pastor.
Do your debt-free scream on this stage. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. All right, folks, a lot of you have questions about taxes. We get it. Taxes are confusing. Heaven help us if we just made it simple. To help you get a better handle on them, let's unpack a question from one of our listeners. My husband passed away this year, and literally everything is different for me now. Yeah. I've got his final tax return, crazy income changes, and significant donations from establishing a scholarship in his name. I'm nervous about filing. First off, I'm heartbroken with you. Golly, it's hard. So sorry. We understand that things seem overwhelming right now. And when things feel overwhelming, it's important to realize that you're not alone. The sun's gonna come up on the other side of this thing, especially if you got people around you. When you go through a major life change, it's best to get a tax pro in your corner. I didn't have a similar situation. I didn't have a significant loss, but I had some significant changes in my life this year. So this year I reached out for a tax pro myself. Situation like this can mean a different filing status, tax bracket forms, calculations, you name it. An experienced pro will know how to handle the complexities of your situation so you have peace of mind knowing everything is taken care of. A Ramsey trusted tax pro like one of our endorsed local providers can answer your questions and help you get your taxes filed. Go to RamseySolutions.com/taxpro to learn more. That's RamseySolutions.com/taxpro. Let's go out to Debbie in the HBC, Huntington Beach. What's up, Debbie? How we doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Great. What's happening?
I'm hoping that I can get some advice from the two of you, if that's okay.
We'll tell you what we think. It may not be great, but we'll give it a shot.
Speak for yourself, John.
What's up?
So my husband and I, we recently bought a condo a little over a year ago. Our mortgage right now is about $4,500 a month. Well, my husband recently got laid off from his position about a month ago now, so it's only my income that's coming in, which is around $5,000-ish a month, give or take.
Yikes.
We do have our 3 to 6 month emergency fund fully funded. We have no debt. but we do have a baby on the way here due in June.
Because why not, right? Why not?
Why not? And my husband has 1 year left in his master's program that he's currently in.
What's he studying?
And we're not taking out. He is going to get his MBA. So I'm really proud of him. He has 1 more year left, and the goal was that we weren't going to take out any loans, so we've been paying for that ourselves.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, with all that being said, my parents do have a back house, and they have offered for us to live there rent-free for about a year or two just to help us save. Talked about it with my husband, and he's kind of against the idea. He thinks we might get penalized for capital gains tax in the future, and that he's confident that he's going to be finding another position here soon. Me, on the other hand, I think maybe it might be a good idea and potential good opportunity, since we're not currently emotionally attached to this current condo that we're living in anyway. It may provide us with a better safety net, knowing that we don't have this mortgage hanging over our head, and that we could save for possibly about a year or two to potentially put down on a home that we really love. So just trying to get some advice here on what y'all think.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're scared.
Yes.
Or scared may be not being the full truth. It sounds like you're terrified. And I'm trying to put myself in your situation. You're working so hard. You may have even had secret, quiet thoughts of staying at home when you have this baby. You're having a baby, and all of a sudden your husband gets laid off. And you'll have a really expensive condo. Welcome to Huntington Beach. And so, man, suddenly there's out of nowhere, you have to go to the bathroom really bad, and an exit ramp shows up on the highway, and you're like, let's take this one. And your husband's like, how about we wait till there's a gas station with lights? And so now y'all are in a disagreement. What kind of work does he do?
He does technical program management.
Okay. What are the chances he has a new job in the next 30 to 60 days?
I mean, I know he's diligently applying to multiple places per day, so has had a few interviews lined up. Nothing's come to fully play out just of yet. And it's been about a month, so.
How much cash do you have?
He's working hard. Well, right now we have about $40,000 in our savings.
All right. And how much is it costing to cash flow this master's each month?
Right now, because he did get a scholarship, it's about $7,000 to $8,000 per quarter. Now, come June, that's the scholarship money is going away, so it'll be a full $12,000. That's
June?
why I'm sorry?
Come June, you said?
Come June.
And was the plan to take that out of the $40K, or it was just to come out of your incomes?
The plan was to come out of our income. If we needed to tap into the savings a little bit, then we could, but we always make sure we fund it back right away.
It may be a season, and this happened. Often students didn't know this was happening, but I can tell you it happens across the board in program after program after program after program. From graduate schools to doctoral programs to law schools and everything in between. It may be that he needs to take a leave of absence for the summer, because you guys can't. I don't feel comfortable with you sprinting off into the back house of your mom's house simply because that feels really short-sighted. That feels like you're terrified, and the thought of that feels warm like a blanket, but you're not addressing some of the underlying issues here. And I think if you hang on in 60 days, it sounds like he's not a guy that's just sitting at home waiting for somebody to call. It sounds like he's out there hustling. And in this current economy, I think he's going to be able to find a job. But it may be that we need to push off school. We had all these dreams of graduating this semester. It's going to be another semester, and that's fine. But right now, you can't pull $12,000 out of your savings account at this point.
And how pregnant are you?
I'm actually due in June as well.
Yeah, I would definitely take a leave.
Yep, got to.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that was.
In my mind, if he's taking a leave, you guys are up against it with you making $5,000 a month, and you have a leave coming up here soon as well. Tell him to keep busting butt to find work, but in the meantime, find anything.
That's right.
In the meantime, whatever he needs to do to keep money coming in, because I don't think you guys need to get out of this house. I think it's just a matter of like sewing it together for now, like putting a patch on it for now, and then it's gonna work itself out. If you get up on it, like if you're three months down the pipe and it's like, all right, there's nothing, which I don't see any reason why there would be. Like I feel like you guys can just bust it out of this, but there's a shelf life to this plan as well. So if 3 months comes and for some reason your guy's not finding any work, call us back, because then it's time to find a new plan. But there's no reason why he shouldn't be up and working, doing something, bringing in enough income for you guys to work this out. And
well, that sounds like the beauty to me, Jade, because Debbie, if I'm not mistaken, is it your parents' house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's another 2 months?
Right. Test it out.
Yeah, that is true.
Like the house isn't going anywhere, and they're not going anywhere. And so you can always do this June 1, right? You can always move in right before the baby's born, and you can tell him, sorry, you waited too long to get a job, and I'm super pregnant, so you got to move everything by yourself.
Yeah.
Like y'all can still do that June 1. I think both of you need to sit down and come up with, okay, here's a plan for 30 days and 60 days. And at the end of 60 days, I'm going to start feeling less and less safe. Yeah. And Debbie, it's important now as you head into this, when you sit down and talk to him, the conversation is not about what he's not doing. The conversation is, I'm really, really scared. And I don't feel safe in this home with a $4,500 mortgage, and I'm making $5,000 and I'm exhausted. I'm about to take a leave. I'm about to have a baby and all these things. I'm scared, and we do have an out. But I want to plan a 30-day, 60-day plan that says, here's going to be the trigger when we say, okay, you didn't get a job in 60 days. You didn't get a job in 30 days, we're taking a leave. You didn't get a job in 60 days, we're going to call mom and dad and see if that's an out for us. But get that stuff on paper, and that's going to help you feel a little bit less scared.
Yep.
A little bit less scared with a plan.
Get that budget tight and right and find out exactly what he needs to be making to make this work.
There you go. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. This is The Ramsey Show, 888-825-5225. All right, so Austin is producing the show. James Child's out today. Austin, we got a clip that we haven't seen yet, and this is actor Jonathan Myers, right?
Jonathan
Majors on Stephen Colbert's show, and he's got a unique take on the way he does life, and you wanted us to react to it.
My mom was a pastor, and she was very clear about safety. You know, she would say, no drinking, no drugs, no sex. Every time I left the house, no drinking, no drugs, no sex. To get on the plane, to go to college, I had to say no drinking, no drugs, no sex before I went through security. This has happened my entire life. But the drinking was a thing, and she always said, baby, just make sure, you don't think about, watch your cup, watch your glass. And I kept that in mind, and, for safety, but also, what that meant, and
What is that? What does that mean?
Now it means,
mind your cup.
Mind your cup. You're a vessel. Nobody can fill you up. Nobody can pour you out. You do that yourself. And so holding on to this is a reminder that, even in this craziness that's happening, my self-esteem is my self-esteem. Nobody can no one can big me up, as it were, or tear me down.
Interesting. What you got, John? Come on, John.
My first thought is, one, I love... whether you agree with the message or not, I love intentional parents who give their kids memorable things that get them through sticky moments in their life. I love that.
Because when he said no drinking, no drugs, no sex, I was like, do we have the same mom? Because I feel like that's all I heard growing up. My gosh.
All I heard was my dad's. I'm just kidding. I was going to say something awful. So I like that. The second thing I like is the sense of ownership over his body, the sense of ownership over his intentions, that at the end of the day, he's going to take full responsibility and live an intentional life. If parents can communicate that responsibility to their kids, incredible. The only thing, if we were sitting down having nachos and a drink, I would say, I think there's a moment in time when it's very important to invite in a select group of people that you do allow to pour into you, that you do allow to positively and I don't say negatively impact you, but hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And I think we have a culture that says you are all that you need. And I'll tell you, behind closed doors, the psychiatrist and the psychologist and the researchers are starting to say the self can't hold. The self was not designed to hold up the universe. And we thought self-actualization, we thought if we could just get full ownership and it was just all you and it's all you ever need, that we'd be okay. And what we're realizing is we can't do life by ourselves. And that's not me just doing Instagram lines. That is neuroscience, right? And so I do think it's important. I think I've got 6, maybe 7 now people, and they know who they are, that I've said, you've got permission to call me out. And I'm going to lean on you to help fill me up. I need to hold my arms up in the desert when I got nothing left, right? And I think it's important to have those people in your life.
I think that's true. I do like the highlight on your choices are your choice, right? Like you said, in today's world where there's so much entitlement and this is the reason my life is bad, it's the government, it's inflation, it's because I never went to college, it's because I did go to college, it's because my parent, like you can point the finger in so many directions, but at the end of the day, this is just me, I'm telling y'all what I learned. Whatever it is I'm complaining about, whatever it is that I'm mad about, there is something that I can do to change it and to make it better. I could say, well, my marriage would be better if my husband was more like this, or my job would be better if my boss was more like this, right? But there's always something that you can do, just you, not waiting on them, air quotes around them. There's always something you can do to make that better. And I did take that away from that. Like, bro, me is always a problem I can solve. If I'm unhappy, I need to change something. If I don't like my life, I need to change something. If I don't like my marriage, my job, whatever it is, there is something that you can do. And I bet you this, because I've lived it. I bet you when you start moving, you're going to be surprised at the domino effect it has on other people.
Right. Positively and negatively.
Positively and negatively.
Some people like you stuck where you are.
Sure, but it's going to have that effect that it's going to be like, oh, you're like that? Okay,
Exactly.
I need to move you out. I need to move you out. And so I do like that part of it, but I agree, John, the community thing is huge. Like when I got here, okay, so we just moved from Florida to Tennessee, I immediately got with my counselor and I was like, how much time do I have to get a community around me before I start to crack?
Right.
And she was like, yeah, she was like, you need to meet people. I was like, because I came from such a strong group of folks that can speak into my life, and they still can over the telephone.
It's different.
But it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. So I do think that you need that piece of people going, hey, you're not like that. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know, so.
I tell, privately, I've told a story, this is the first time I'm telling it publicly, I think, but it was about a year into this job, and I posted somebody wrote something awful, and I screenshot it and just had like an arrow, and I commented back, and just really put him on blast. And I'm not gonna lie, it was real funny. And one of my closest friends called me, and he was laughing as I answered the phone, and I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "Dude, I just saw your post." He's dying laughing. I was like, "That was awesome." And he goes, "Take it down."
Oh.
I said, "What do you mean take it down? It's hilarious." And he goes, "Oh, it's super funny." And then he said, "That's not you.
Yeah.
And that's not how you want to represent yourself.
Yes.
Take it down." And here's the deal. I was mad and I trusted him. And so I took it down. Not because I'm cowering to the man. It's because I'd given that man permission to speak into my life. And he saw a side of me that said, that's not the guy I know.
Yeah.
And if you go down this road, you're going to end up way over here. I'm just going to call you out now. What a gift.
But that says a lot about you as a person, because in the world we are today, people get offended so easily. You do one thing and somebody holds you accountable, and suddenly it's like this whole thing of, you're not letting me live in my truth, and you're not letting me, do this thing. And I'm like, if you're a person, if you become so high and mighty, and I'm going to call it an ego because that's what it is, that no one can speak to you. No one can say, hey, and I don't mean just some dude off the streets. I'm talking about the people in your life can't come up to you and say, hey, you're wrong, and you're not willing to enter into conflict with anyone and come out on the other side of it. That's a problem.
You will crash. You will crash if you don't have those people.
Like my buddy Portia, she knows If I'm acting up, she's the one that needs to call me up and be like, no, no. You're not being yourself right now. Like, that's not who you are. That's not the way you act. I can call her and tell her, hey, you know, this dude is acting like this, and she'll be like, well, like you could have, here was your part in it. And that's the type of relationship we'd have. And if you don't have that with people, whether it be your spouse, you know, your homie, whatever it is, dude, you're setting yourself up to fail, because you need that cup that you're looking at, but you need to let somebody else look at the cup too.
That's right.
If you're holding your cup over here to the side, like off in the corner where nobody else can see it, good luck to you.
And if you're a mess like me, you need several people looking at that cup, making sure you
John, let me see your cup.
Your head screwed on straight, man. It's a dark, sad cup. All right, let's run out to Zach in Tom's. Do we have time to take a call here? Yeah, we got time. Let's go out to Zach in Tom's River. Zach, we're right up against the clock, so get right to your question, brother.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
What's going on? Right up against the clock, so get right to the question.
All right, so my wife and I are aggressively paying off student loan debt and car debt. We're paying off about $80,000 this year, and that's going to be the end of our debt. Except
Way to
for
go,
our mortgage.
man! That's great.
Thank you. We both agree our house is too small right now to continue growing our family, so we want to build a custom home. I'm an architect, so she wants me to design it. You know, our house right now is too small for our 18-month-old daughter. There's just no yard, and we literally just run her up and down the hallway.
Yeah.
We don't want to sell our house, but my wife doesn't want to wait 2 years to save her down payment to build the house. And she brought the idea of a home equity loan to get the down payment.
No.
I don't want to go back in debt.
Nope. No. The answer is no. You are right. Sorry, wifey. Wifey is wrong on this one. You're right. We are not going into home equity line of credit to do anything. I don't care if she wants to expand the house with the home equity line of credit. I don't care what she planned on doing with this home equity line of credit. The answer is going to be no. The best way to buy a home is to do it the right way, which is either to sell the house that you have after you've paid off the debt and take whatever equity you have and roll it into the next home where the payment is no more than 25% of your income, and that is on a 15-year fixed conventional loan. That's the only way we're doing this thing. No HELOC!
No, and listen, I promise you, when your kid is 5, they'd much rather a stress-free home with no debt than a strapped mom and dad in a postage stamp-sized yard.
Okay, John.
Don't do it. Don't do it. This is The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. Today's scripture of the day is Proverbs 12:11. Those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. Jackie Robinson says, life is not a spectator sport. If you're going to spend your whole life in the grandstand just watching what goes on, in my opinion, you're wasting your life. Whew, Jackie.
Boom.
Bringing it. All right, let's go out to Jordan in the NYC. What's up, Jordan?
How you doing, John? Pleasure. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. What's up?
So my wife, she started orientation for her new job. She's a nurse, so we needed somebody to watch our 3-year-old while I work on between hours. And we had her mother-in-law come by, and it's been about 6 weeks now. She's finished her orientation, and my wife wants her to stay for a little bit longer. But in the last 6 to 8 weeks, our bills have gone through the roof.
Ooh, she got to go.
Dude, hey, Jordan, best of luck to you, my friend.
So I'm at a crossroads here because, you know, now my wife is saying that, that her job wants her to work days for a few weeks to get adjusted to it. And, she's off by 3 o'clock. It doesn't take much time out of my day. I'm pretty much home 3 out of the 4 days out the week. I go to the office 2 days a week. And, I don't know how to tell her, hey, your mom has to go. Because
What are hey, Jordan, what are these bills?
Well, my electricity bill has gone from $300, which it averages, to $672.
Oh, gosh.
How?
So she's cold. She's turning the heat up.
She's home all. She's there all day.
Oh, man. She's turning the heat up. She's eating all the lunch meat.
What else?
And the heating bill, too. So I have propane heat and electricity.
Dude.
Oh, man.
Okay, can we have real talk for 1 second?
Yes.
All right, so there is a financial aspect to this. Okay, no question.
We're trying to get out of debt.
I know, but hold on. When you were dating your wife and you fell head over Jordan heels for her, money didn't matter. You figured it out. You had a test coming up in college. I don't care. I'm going to go see her. A show's coming to town. She don't want to go. I'm not going. You figure it out. And now you got mother-in-law there, staying with the family, and then these bills come in. Bills are real. That is hundreds of dollars that were not on the tab just a couple weeks ago, and here they are. That's real. And there's something underneath it that's getting into you. What is it?
Well, for her being here for 6 weeks, I don't think much has changed. My wife has said, we'll get to go out. We'll get to do things because there's somebody to watch the baby all the time. And none of those things have happened.
All right. Now we're getting to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you and your mother-in-law get along?
She's there, there's no, she gets in the way. Let's just put it like that.
Hey, she's probably not listening, so you can tell us the truth.
Does she get in the way, like, just because it's your house, you want to walk around in your underwear if you want to because it's my house? Or does she get in the way, like...
she's just taking things upon herself. Like, the UPS guy comes, I run a small business, we'll get mail come and packages. And there's multiple packages that I can't find because she says she puts them somewhere and it's not there. And the other day I found 2 of them outside in boxes by the recycle.
Yikes.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
So Jordan, here's where you got to go, okay? I don't envy you because at the end of the day, you do have somebody that in their heart and mind came in to help, right? And your wife probably feels a sense of both duty to mom to give her a purpose and just a comforting sense that there's somebody else there watching the kid, all that stuff. I think if you haven't before, this is going to be the first time you ever sat down and not use the word she and them and y'all, but you sit down with your wife in a private conversation and say, me. I'm struggling. I feel like I've lost my house, the house that you and I share, that you and I are building. Our bills have doubled, if not more so. I got packages disappearing. I love and honor the fact that your mom packed up and came out here. And I'm feeling less and less safe in my own house. Not in a someone's going to get me kind of way, but like I'm losing my own home and I don't want to have another parent in this house. And so give your wife an opportunity to speak back, and because it may be an issue of boundaries. It may be an issue of, hey, if there's a package that comes to this house, don't touch it. I'll pick it up. Or put it right here in this area or something like that.
But can he also say, we agreed that this was going to be for
Absolutely.
6 months?
Yes.
Or what did you say, 6 weeks or 6 months?
6 weeks.
Okay. Now how long has it been?
We're 8 weeks now.
Okay. So can he say, hey, we agreed this was going to be 6 weeks, and I was really great with that agreement, but I don't know how I don't feel good about 8 weeks or longer.
Yes, but here's my concern, Jordan. That you've got other issues going on in your marriage, and I don't want it all coming out on mother-in-law.
Or wife. You seem like a straightforward kind of guy, like myself, and sometimes we can bust in the room and be like, you said that this was only going to be like this, and now look at this. What are you going to do? Like, look, Jordan, that's how we are. I'm going to just put myself in there.
That's happened.
That's
Don't
how
do
we
that.
are. We gotta hold back, Jordan. We gotta find our inner John Deloney.
Speak to be heard, not so you have not just to have said something. Okay, speak to be heard.
She also sees that, because she's made comments here and there, like the things that she thought her mother would be doing to make her life easier isn't happening.
Yeah.
And maybe your wife desperately wants you to step up and be the bad guy here. And tell your wife, I'm happy to be the bad guy here.
Ooh,
I'm happy to tell.
Wait, no, I don't. Okay, John, we rarely disagree, but
Okay.
I don't agree.
Well, I'm saying this. When I say bad guy, I'm willing to say, hey, my yeah.
You can't tell the in-laws.
You're right.
You can't come
That's
at.
on me. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
I don't know that you're wrong. I'm just saying I wouldn't try it.
Good call out. Yeah, Jordan, y'all need to be united on it. And at this point, your wife's going to have to be a grown-up too and sit down and say, hey, here's in 2 weeks, we're ready to transition and get our house back. We're so grateful for you. Here's a really fancy dinner. Here's a night out on the town. Here, we're taking you to a Broadway play, whatever we're going to do. We're going to do something really nice, but it's time.
Yeah.
Is that going to go over well with your wife?
Wrap it in a thank you. Yep.
She for the most part, she follows my lead, but it's her mother and she's the youngest of 8.
Yep. Where does mom go after this?
Back to Boston.
She has a place, or she's going to another sibling?
She has a place, but she's usually she lives in Florida, but she spends most of her time with her kids in Boston, and it's like her sister lives 10 minutes down the street. She doesn't want to go and see her sister.
Okay. Well, that's a her issue, not you guys. I'd stay out of that stuff. But hey, listen, if you and your wife had plans like, hey, when you get to this nursing job, we're going to be able to go out, we're going to have extra money, all that, and that's not happening, don't roll all that stress into this conversation. Because it can be real easy that all of a sudden this conversation turns into and you said this, and this never happens, and now your mom's here, and now we're at war, and nobody's going to win. Let this be about, hey, we want to get our house back. We said 6 weeks. It's been 8 weeks. At 10 weeks, this is done. Let's sit down together and have this conversation. I was wrong. Jay was right. Don't divide it up. We're going to do this one together, and then let's have a different conversation. Now that she's settling into her new job, now that you're settled in, now that you got your house back, what is it going to look like to have a date night once a week? That's why we work so hard. I don't want to have a one night a month with you. I want 1 night a week with you. I want 2 nights a week with you. What is it going to look like to find childcare? What's it going to look like to do all these things to create a life that is worth living, man?
Yeah.
So, and so good for you, Jordan. Thanks for trusting us. You do have to have a hard conversation, but again, remember, make the conversation, especially initially, about you, what you're struggling with, what you're upset with, what's hurting you. Don't come in guns a-blazing, because your wife's going to have one option. That's to defend herself, and now you got World War III, and there's no sense in that.
I don't envy him, but I think if he wraps it up, like you said, wrap the mother-in-law up in a thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for all of this. Here's a meal. We're so appreciative. Da-da-da-da-da. Then you bring the wife over here and wrap that up in a nice date. Mm-hmm. And it's like, hey, I've missed you. Like anytime your husband or spouse comes at you with the I miss you, I want to be with you, I don't get to spend enough time with you, if you're not melting down, I don't know what's happening to you. I don't know what's happening. Go melt her like butter, like a hot knife through butter.
Man, we have very different spouses. All right, this is the Ramsey Show. Thanks to the guys in the booth. Kelly was there and she took off as usual. Hey, thank you, America, for sticking with us. Thank you, Jade. And listen, pay off your debts. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you soon right here on the Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Dr. John Deloney. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.